Welcome back to another creepy tale with the collective. Tonight, we have a double feature. The first story we'll be listening to is Come Play With Me. The author is unknown. The second part of the double feature is Room for One More by Alvin Schwartz. But first, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're really trying to hit 300 subscribers, and we would appreciate everyone to subscribe that comes across this. That'd be great. Second, thumbs up this video. It helps us with the algorithm. We're going on 2 years real soon, and just trying to get more people to listen and to watch these, so please thumbs up it. And also turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything that we might release. Come Play With Me. Some time ago, a friend of mine and I decided to do the Ouija board for the first time, something we had never dared to do before. We called 2 other friends over to come and do it with us, as I had been told that it was more likely something would happen if there were more people. We had a hard time convincing the other 2, but in the end they agreed to come along. We got everything ready, and feeling a bit nervous, got started. During the session, one of the girls we had called to join us said, "This is nonsense. I'm out of here." We got a little scared and decided to leave it for another time. After a few days, a girl who had left called me. She was beside herself. She said that as she was passing a derelict house near her home on the way back from the local library, a little girl dressed in white had asked to play with her. My friend told her that she couldn't, as she was in a hurry to get home. And immediately, the girl began to cry. Tears of blood. My friend fled, and when she got home, she called me. At first, I thought she was pulling my leg, but something told me that was not the case. I began to think about the day we had done the Ouija board, and how abrupt my friend had been when she had got up to leave. I didn't give it much more thought, and I went to bed. The next day, my friend called me because she was going to be home alone studying. As she was scared, she asked me to keep her company. I took a bus over to hers, and we settled down with our books. After a while, we heard a scratching noise behind us. We both looked up and were horrified to find that the girl she had described to me was sitting on my friend's bed, scratching the wall. We ran out of the room, and when we got to the front door, I noticed that my friend was not there. But I was so terrified I couldn't make myself wait for her. Shortly afterwards, the police called my house to tell me that my friend had died of an asthma attack. She had been found on the stairs of her house with a terrified expression on her face. For several months after that, I was in treatment. I'm now recovering, but the other day a note appeared in my mailbox, written in a little girl's hand, that read, "Your friend died because she wouldn't play with me. I have a new doll." I think it's a joke since our story has become famous in our town. But on the other hand, I'm scared. I wonder, will she come for me? And now on to our second tale of the night. Room for One More by Alvin Schwartz. A man named Joseph Blackwell came to town on a business trip. He stayed at the large house some friends owned at the outskirts of the city. That night they had a pleasant evening, chatting and reminiscing about the past. But when Blackwell went to bed, he began to toss and turn and was unable to sleep. At one point during the night, he heard a car pull up into the driveway. He went to the window to see who might have been arriving at such a late hour. And in the moonlight, he saw a black hearse, full of people. The driver looked up at him, and when Blackwell saw his strange face, he shuddered. The driver called to him. "There's room for one more." He then waited a minute or two and drove off. In the morning, Blackwell told his friends what had happened. "You were dreaming," they said. "That must have been it," he replied, but it didn't seem like a dream. After breakfast, he left for town and spent the day in the offices of one of the new high-rise buildings in the city. Late in the afternoon, he was ready to go back to the house and was waiting for the elevator to take him down to the ground floor. But when it stopped at his floor, it was very full. One of the people inside looked at him and said,
"There's room for one more."
It was the driver of the hearse. "No, thank you," Blackwell said. "I'll wait for the next one." The doors closed and the elevator began to descend. Moments later, there was a terrible crash, and shouts and screams could be heard. The elevator had collapsed. All the people inside were killed.